functions is what it is. Composite functions. There are two different ways to write composite functions. This is the first way. This says f of g of x. This is the same thing as this, which is fog. They're the exact same thing. You work the problem the same, they mean the same. But you're going to see it written both ways.
Well, just pick one way to write it.
Well, you will learn that as you go further in math. There's a lot of things they teach you early because they feel like some of the notations will confuse you. And it's kind of like you do when you graph number lines, you use open circles and closed circles. As you get older, you use brackets and parentheses. So, I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I just know. All right. If I tell you f of x is x squared plus 2x, and g of x is x minus 4. If I ask you to find f of g of negative 4, isn't the negative 4 with the g? So I plug negative 4 in g, take that answer and plug in f, correct?
Yes.
So what is g of negative 4?
Negative 8.
This is negative 8, so then I want f of negative 8. And what is that?
48.
48? So you remember that pretty well.
How did you get 48?
But I plugged negative 8 in f.
No, I didn't get
Well, that might make it a little bit harder if you don't have it written down. So, what is fog of 9?
Are we using that same, like,
Same equations, yes. Where do I put the 9?
in the G that?
In the G.
30?
30?
Wait, that's not right. 35. Yeah.
That's much better.
I got the 3 though.
35? Did you all agree?
I don't know where to get.
Okay. We'll pause a minute and let you work it.
25. They're shy. I agree.
Okay, good. Everybody else agree? Okay. What is golf of 10? This time I put the 10 in F, don't I?
Yes.
$16.
116?
Yes.
Everybody agree with that? Well, that's pretty easy, isn't it?
Not the whole lesson. You just want to say that's the whole lesson, right?
Well, I want to, but I can't. How about that? Just one more thing, Kristen. Just one more. No, there's no graphing. I don't know why you don't like graphing.
I like graphing, but the graphing that we do stresses me out.
It what?
It stresses me out.
Why?
Because it's really but overall, I like graphing. I don't like graphing on the calculator because I feel like I'm cheating.
Well, I got news for you. You're going to reach a point you can't. Well, I shouldn't say you can't graph it because I never had a calculator.
I realize why it's
But you would
really
take.
difficult.
You spend so much time with the graphing, and all you're doing is plotting points.
Yeah.
You don't want to get bogged down in that.
Yeah.
All right. This time, first thing I want is fog. Fog of X.
Fog of X.
That just means I take my f function.
Oh, so it's 3 times 1 over x minus 1 plus 4. Right?
3 times 1 over x minus 1 plus 4. Is this 3 over x minus 1 plus 4? Are you all okay with that answer? Yeah, you do not have to get a common denominator. But now my question is, what is the domain of fog?
Oh, you have to plug in
What would make that undefined?
plug in 0.
No, you let the denominator equal 0. What would make this fraction undefined? 1. So the domain is negative infinity to 1 and 1 to infinity. Do you remember that parentheses means it doesn't include it? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. This time, let's do cough. This time, don't I have one over 3x plus 4 minus 1? Right?
3x plus 3.
Which is 1 over what?
3x plus 3.
So it can't be negative 1.
So what is my domain?
Domain is negative infinity, it's negative 1, and then negative 1.
You okay with that? That's still not hard yet, is it?
No.
One more example, all right? F of x is equal to radical x minus 1. G of x is 1 over x minus 3. What is fog? Oh, I can't do fog. I can. We don't need to do fog. Let me make sure there's none that hard in your homework. 'Cause that's going to be hard.
That would be a fraction in the radical.
Yeah.
Which is a... Oh, we can just do them around, right?
Off top.
Yeah.
We can do fog.
You don't have to.
Okay.
What about golf? Isn't that 1 over radical x minus 1 minus 3?
Yes.
Okay, now, can we find this domain?
So radical x minus 1 has to not equal 3.
Okay, that's the first thing. Radical x minus 1, if it equals 3, it's 0, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be a 10.
So is x minus 1 equal to 9? So x cannot equal 10. Would you agree with that? All right. Is it also true
It's a negative.
that x minus 1 has to be greater than or equal to 0? Is that true?
So anything above...
So x is greater than or equal to 1. So how am I going to write my domain?
Negative.
Doesn't it start with a bracket? Does this say x has to be greater than or equal to 1?
Yeah,
So is that bracket 1 to infinity?
Yes.
Yes?
Did I 1 to 10?
Yeah, no. Just this piece
Yeah.
is bracket 1 to infinity.
Yeah.
Then I have to put this in it.
Yeah.
So I know I start with bracket 1, but it can't be 10. So 10 parenthesis and 10 to infinity?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Are you okay with doing this?